Good morning, fellow traders. Bubblehead here, and it's time for the Good Morning Market Prep for Tuesday, February 25th, 2020. I hope everybody had a great night last night. This is brought to you by Positive Trends Research, and everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only, not investment advice, so please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. So let's take a look and see where we left off in the market yesterday. So let's pull up the weekly chart, and what we have here is a continuation downside. We talked about yesterday the importance of candles, right? We saw last week's candle finished red with an upper shadow at all-time highs, right? Implying that it might want to test a little bit lower, at least the bottom of this candle, but we did see a big gap down, and so the weekly chart right now is including that first day's move right here, which we could see here on the daily chart. So we gapped down amazingly, right, to just below the 50-day moving average, and we got some downside movement here, right? And we could see where we held. We talked about this the other day. So support, big support from the 31st, right, before we had the next move up, and then we came back down right to those levels, right? And then we had an intraday move, tried to push its way up, and you can see here on the 15-minute chart, see how it tried to bounce its way up there, and then it came back in. So interesting stuff, right? So it was basically all down on more coronavirus fears, things like that. Overnight, Apple stated that they have increased or opened up several stores that they have in China, so that kind of, I guess, gave a little bit of an impetus last night on the SPX futures. So on the S&P futures. So let's take a look and see what those futures are up to right now, and then we'll take a look at Apple. So we had quite a wild night last night. So we had all through the day yesterday, we pretty much stayed under the downward trend line from Friday, from here right to here, and you can see we worked our way all the way down to the lowest yesterday, and then this over the night, right over. Let me get this pulled up here. Activate, grab that guy. Okay, so this is the trend line right here. And you can see over the night, they tried to rally it back up again, right? So we had basically a little double bottom right here. Guys, this is going to be a very, very key level for the market to hold, this 32.13-ish level, 32.10. Very, very important level for the market to hold today. So we'll see how that does into the open here. But we did break out of the upward trend line, right? We got a little bit of a move up here. And right now we chopped sideways, so it looked like we were going to be opening like 30 points, and we had a little bit of a down move throughout the evening, and we're trying to rally a little bit here. So S&P futures are up 10 points after almost a 100-point down day yesterday, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. So speaking of Apple, let's take a look and see how it's looking this morning now that they're opening some new stores. So we're seeing it up a little bit here, about 2 points pre-market. We'll see if that gets any strength. It has some levels to take out here from its pre-market box, so we'll have to definitely keep an eye on Apple today. It's had a rough couple days, right? So it had 2 red days in a row, and then we had that big gap down with a spinning top here at the cloud. So we have to definitely keep an eye on it, see if we can hold that as support, but I'd like to see it take out yesterday's highs. Tesla got a downgrade this morning, so obviously it's shaking that off in stride right here. So we'll see if we can get over the pre-market levels. Hey, just remember this week they're going to be defending against their autopilot failure back from a year or so ago. So that should be on the radar too. Nvidia got a downgrade this morning too. Seems to be holding up pretty well as well, but definitely something to keep an eye on. Let's take a look at 15 order possibilities today. So we have Shake Shack with earnings last night. That's down. So we're going to keep an eye on that. So it's about 64-ish. So 64-ish. Wow, that'll be a big gap down here. Let's see. So that's going to put it right at these levels right here. So very, very important stuff with an open gap below. So that gap could be affected and tested, especially with today's volatility on Shake Shack. So keep an eye on that one. HTZ. Down a little bit too on earnings. They're gapping it down even farther here this morning. So let's take a look here. That's down to this 17-ish level here. It had some big buying pressure recently, so it's kind of gapping into that buying pressure to see if it can give any sort of reversal today. PNW, there's another one. PNW held the cloud yesterday, but this morning it's back. It's down to hit a low of 198 after earnings. So let's see where that puts us at. 198. Wow, that's a big gap down right there. It's under 200 right here. So let's see. So that puts us 198-ish. So again, key level here is 192. So it's probably going to be tough. We might see some choppiness today in this one, but definitely worth keeping an eye on just to see what it's up to today. See if it gets any more activity on the downside pre-market. Intuit. A little bit of pre-market, not too much going on there, but could get some volatility today. And this morning we've already had we have Macy's reporting this morning, so that should be interesting. Some retail, some big retail stuff coming out here. We don't have some data yet, but it's up a little bit pre-market here, so might be trying to anticipate it. Home Depot had a beat this morning. They had a beat on earnings, I think, in line with revenue, and so gapping up a little bit pre-market here. Keep an eye on this one. Also keep an eye on the home builders, see if they can rally behind that too. They had a good recent run recently. And of course, we have the coronavirus. Okay, so Moderna, right? This one got some news yesterday about potential cure. I think they were mentioned by the WHO. or no, yeah, this one actually, what was the news on this one? This one is oh, they shipped their first vaccine for a trial. Okay, and then the antiviral drug with Guild is the other one that where the WHO said that has some promise on it. So keep an eye on Moderna today. It's up nicely pre-market, so see if that gets some activity. And then Guild, that has just had an epic run here recently too. Check out the big move. Yes, on Friday, right, and a big gap up there. mRNA on the daily chart wasn't really implying any move necessarily, except for a retest of a falling wedge potential breakout, and it does have earnings come out too, making it a little bit tricky. So, and then last but not least here this morning, so another affected one is MA. They just said that the coronavirus is going to affect their numbers, and we're seeing that down a little bit here after hours certainly, and then a little bit pre-market here. So keep an eye on these ones today, and hope everybody has a great day, a great trading day today. And remember your risk first, and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys soon.